Today we're sharing a tip on parallel parking. As you can see, there's an illegally parked car on the right side. The space is extremely tight with the steering wheel turned fully to the left. The front end will quickly hit the black car beside it, so you're forced to straighten the wheel and wait until the front end has passed the illegally parked car before reversing. But reversing at that point won't work either. The rear end reaches its limit. In this situation, trying to maneuver smoothly into the space, you'll find it's extremely difficult. No matter how you adjust, the rear end just can't get far enough in. So when you're faced with this situation, how should you approach parking the car? All you need to do is use the front first method. As you drive the car forward until the B pillar lines up with the front of the car on the left. If the B pillar hasn't reached that point yet and you rush to turn left, you'll find you can easily hit the black car on the right, so you must wait until the car's B pillar has reached the front end of the car behind you. Then turn the steering wheel fully to the left, let the front of the car enter the space first and get it in as far as possible. Then turn the wheel to the right to gradually straighten the car. The goal is to first get the rear end close to the left side. We observe that the front end still can't clear. In this case, straighten the wheel and reverse, straight back to create space toward the front right, and pull the car body back to the right. That does it until the front bumper gets close to the white car. Once the car is straightened out, begin reversing. Because this parking space has limited length, after driving the front end to the right, we can see that the rear end is still not far from the car behind, and the overall angle of the car is still fairly shallow at this point. Turning left and reversing often still isn't enough to get the rear end fully in. So after making adjustments, you can see the car body is still sitting relatively far out. This is what happens with a narrow lane combined with a short parking space. So when using the front first method, after the front end is in, straighten the wheel and reverse to the left. Keep adjusting until the car is in a vertical position. Then turn the steering wheel fully to the left again. When the car reaches the position of the white car, do not turn left and reverse directly to bring the rear end into the space. Keep some reversing distance, turn right and reverse. Each time you adjust, the rear end will shift a little further left. Then turn left and drive forward. Keep some space at the front, then turn right and drive forward. Then turn left and reverse. Stop part way, turn right and reverse. Our rear end has now shifted further inward. Then turn left and drive forward. Turn right and drive forward. The goal is to first get the rear end close to the left side. When reversing, we observe. We can now see the full front end of the car behind us. This means the car's current angle and the distance from the car behind are both sufficient. At this point, we can turn the steering wheel right and reverse. You'll notice that when the car reaches its reversing limit, there's no space left behind, and the front still can't fully clear the car beside it. Now we could talk about fine-tuning, but in this situation, it's really not necessary. Adjusting the rear wheels in such a tight space is very tricky. If this tutorial was helpful to you, please follow me. I share parking tips every day.